When I was wiping the body of my vegetative wife, I actually heard her inner voice. Stinky man, not gentle at all. When I wake up, I'll have mom replace him. Ugh, my butt is so itchy. This ugly and stupid guy doesn't even scratch it for me. I've been lying here for 3 months. When can I get up? Hearing this, my heart jumped. If they replace me, where else can I find such an easy life? So I reached out and prepared to take off her clothes. Who would have expected the next second? My vegetative wife suddenly opened her eyes. After being laid off, I quickly found a new job. Being a Levinsoni-law for a wealthy family's daughter, not only can I live in a big villa and drive luxury cars, I can also receive $1 million in pocket money every month. Before getting the marriage certificate, the noble lady told me to think clearly, saying her daughter might never wake up in this lifetime. After marriage, it's the same as being a bachelor. Not much difference. What is there to consider? Isn't this a proper winner-in-life package? As long as my vegetative wife doesn't wake up, I can do this job until I die. I smiled and nodded, saying no need to consider. Having such a gentle and beautiful mother-in-law like you is my blessing because I have a sweet mouth. The noble lady immediately gave me a new sports car. I was so moved that my eyes brimmed with tears. My little electric bike can finally retire with honor. Then I followed the noble lady to a luxurious large villa. I almost laughed at my own poverty. No wonder female leads in novels get lost. Anyone would get lost here. Wait a minute. I have to ask the butler how to navigate. When I saw the sleeping beauty lying on the bed, my heart, sealed with cement, cracked open at once. This is my daughter Leash. So beautiful, even more beautiful than those female celebrities. Taking this wife out would give me so much face. It's a pity she can't be taken out. She has to be carried out. The noble lady simply told me. The current situation of the Lee family. Lee Shimon's father passed away many years ago. Lee Shimon has always been excellent. Later, after an accidental car crash, she became a vegetative person. Lee Shimon has professional caretakers looking after her. I don't need to do anything. My main job content is to flatter my mother. Observe if Lee Shimon has any abnormalities and casually take some small advantages. Mother-in-law treats me very well, giving gifts at every turn. I have nothing to repay her with. I can only behave more proactively. Help Lee Shimon massage her body when I have free time. My heart kept roasting, but on the surface I still had to pick up the Godfather script. Strangely enough, Lee Shimon has been lying down for almost 2 years. Her figure is still curvy. While I was helping Lee Shimon massage, I was thinking, she looks so good, yet became a vegetative person, truly a waste of heaven's gifts. After the massage, I hesitated whether to wipe her body. It seems inappropriate for someone who's been single since birth like me. But on second thought, this is my legal wife. There is nothing inappropriate. So I reached out to tidy her clothes. Maybe due to lack of experience, my hand shook and landed directly on a certain spot. So soft, I was dumbfounded. The next second, Lee Shimon sprang up completely. Wife, it's so great that you woke up. Go tell our mom immediately. Stop right there. Your name is Fang Yuan. I nodded. Yes, and also your husband. Just as I finished speaking, a voice appeared in my mind. Where did my mom find this ugly and stupid man? I widened my eyes. What the hell? I seemed to have heard her inner voice. Calling me stupid is fine, but you can't say I'm ugly. You should know that every time I look in the mirror and moved to tears by my own hand. Have you been awake for a long time? Just pretending to be a vegetative person on purpose. Consider yourself not too stupid. Then why are you pretending to be a vegetative person? You don't need to know the reason. Remember this? You can't tell anyone. Why should I listen to you? Don't want the 1 million monthly salary anymore. I promise to keep my mouth shut. Just like that, Lee Shimon and I reached a consensus. She continues to pretend to be a vegetative person. I help cover for her and continue to collect my salary. It's just that now she's awake. It would be better if she didn't wake up. A whole bunch of fussy matters. For example, when eating, I have to pick out the fish bones for her. Drinking water temperature must be kept at exactly 37 degrees. If there is a thread on the bedsheet, she complains it's too uncomfortable to sleep. Even the princess and the pea wasn't this troublesome. After a week, my resentment was heavier than a ghost's. This night, I was sleeping soundly. She woke me up again. I want to eat dumplings. Got it. When I get up tomorrow, I'll tell the maid to make some. I want to eat the ones you make right now. At this hour, even the working cattle and horses are asleep. You ask me to go make dumplings for you? Not going. What kind of dumplings do you eat late at night? At this time, a pleasant voice sounded. Kunpei received 100,000 yuan. Honey, what filling do you want? You really are a universally loved little princess. Humph, money-grubbing thing. I'll endure it. Wait until I make enough money. then I'll kick you out. Pork and cabbage filling. All right. Then I got up to make dumplings. Luckily, the fridge has all kinds of ingredients. I took them out and started making them. In the middle of the night, the eldest miss suddenly wants to eat pork and cabbage dumplings. So novel. The world of the rich. I really don't understand. Lee Shimin ate one bowl, while I devoured 2 bowls. After eating, I took the bowls and chopsticks downstairs. When I returned, I saw Lee Shimin doing yoga. My old face instantly flushed red. No wonder her figure is so good. Turns out she's been exercising secretly all along. To be perfectly honest, I really crave her body a lot. Wipe your drool. You shouldn't exercise vigorously after a meal. Lee Shimin stood up, passed by me. A voice drifted through my mind. This man is not only but also a pervert. Truly a turnoff. My blood pressure spiked instantly. I forcefully pushed her down on the bed. Lee Shimin was stunned. What do you want to do? I took the marriage certificate from the drawer and threw it in front of her. Operating with a license, Lee Shimin was shocked. Fang Yuan, are you crazy? Just as I was about to perform a forceful seizure drama, my phone rang. It was my bro. He said he went through a breakup and is crying loudly. I quickly got off Lee Shimin's body, held my phone and went to comfort my bro. Beauty and all that are just fleeting clouds. The next day, holding my 100,000 yuan reward, while I was washing the feet of Mage Lee Shimin, mother-in-law walked in with a middle-aged man. It was Lee Shimin's uncle. After Lee Shimin's car accident, the Lee group was handed over to him for management. How is Shimin's recent condition? Stupid man, speak quickly. Her condition is not good, I sighed. Still the same old. The doctor came a few days ago, saying the chances of waking up are slim. Then I held Lee Shimin's hand, trying desperately to squeeze out tears. Honey, you must wake up. As I spoke, bean-sized tears rolled down from my eyes. Even I admire my own acting skills. Although, I don't know why Lee Shimin wants to pretend to be a vegetative person, but I always feel things are not simple. Mother-in-law also cried, took out a gold bar from her bag and stuffed it into my hand. Good child. With you accompanying Shimin, she will definitely wake up. I looked at the gold bar and instantly couldn't cry anymore. I could only nod vigorously. She will. Mother-in-law is so good. Lee Shimin even pretends to be a vegetative person to deceive her. Truly unfair. After they went out, I asked Lee Shimin, is your relationship with your uncle bad? Don't inquire about things you shouldn't inquire about. I secretly glared at her, making it seem like I really want to know. If you have the ability, don't ask me to help you act. Lee Shimin pointed to her legs. Continue washing. Thinking that my wealth and glory depend on her to maintain, I could only continue washing her feet. Foot washing ended. Lee Shimin ordered me again to brew a cup of black coffee. I spread my hands, add money. All you know, all day is money. Did this man fall into a pile of money? In the end, Lee Shimin still transferred money to me. Looking at the balance in my account, I smiled gleefully. Endure humiliation for a few more months. Won't I be able to lie flat for the rest of my life? Thank you, honey. Lee Shimin with a dark face. Speak properly. Thank you, boss. Resting for less than 2 days, Lee Shimin started acting like a demon again, asking me to push her out to bask in the sun, so I found a wheelchair and pushed her out. Walking along, I felt thirsty. Leaned by her ear and said, you sit here by yourself. I'm going to buy a bottle of water. There's a small shop ahead. I walked over, asked the clerk to get me a bottle of water. Just as I came out of the shop, I saw 2 men standing in front of Lee Shimin. My heart tightened. I ran over quickly, picked up a brick on the way and threw it over. I dare you to touch her. The 2 men saw me coming and ran away immediately. I lowered my head and checked Lee Shimin up and down. It looks like she should be fine, just that the tips of her ears looked red. This stupid man seems to care quite a bit about me. Hey's not that annoying either. Nonsense. You are my money tree. If I don't care about you, who would I care about? I was afraid we would encounter danger again, so I pushed Lee Shimin back. Returning home, I had the maid help Lee Shimin upstairs first. Then I ate the tonic soup stewed by my mother. These rich people really know how to enjoy themselves. No wonder mother-in-law maintains herself so well. After eating, I returned upstairs. Just walking to the door, I heard Lee Shimin making a phone call inside. Jiaho, when did he come back? The name Jiaho is so familiar. I quickly remembered, a few days ago, I saw a photo in Lee Shimin's study. Curious, I immediately took the photo frame and asked Mother-in-law said his name is Jiaho. He is a childhood sweetheart who grew up with Lee Shimin and also her ex-boyfriend. 2 years ago, they had a fight. It was on the way to chase him that Lee Shimin got into a car accident. This man is no good. Jinxes her. But according to my experience reading novels, The female lead's childhood friend came back. It won't be long before she tells me to get lost. Get lost then. Anyway, I've already earned over $3 million. Waiting for her to finish the phone call, I went in, silently took out my suitcase. Lee Shimin asked, "Where are you going?" Her voice pulled me back to reality. Wait, the breakup fee hasn't been settled yet? Why am I packing my things so early? I kicked the suitcase back. Lee Shimin said, "I'm going out tonight. You better be sharp. Don't get caught by my mom. That I'm not home." Definitely meeting her childhood friend. Does she still put me, her husband, in her eyes? I asked angrily. Covering for you. How much benefit do you plan to give me? Lee Shimin looked at me. Is there nothing else in your brain besides money? There is. Can you share a few of the gold bars in your safe with me? This stupid man only knows money. Why doesn't he ask me what I'm going out to do tonight? Private meeting with your childhood friend. What else could you do? Maybe thinking that I'm going to be unemployed again? My mood was a bit gloomy. In the evening, I dragged my bro to a bar to play. Mother-in-law usually sleeps very early. She won't find out Lee Shimin isn't lying in bed. When I was almost done drinking, I prepared to go back. Passing by a private room, my footsteps paused. I widened my eyes. Isn't this my wife with more money than sense? Even though she was wearing a baseball cap, but I still recognized her at a glance. My bro asked me, "Fang Yuan, what's wrong?" After speaking, a sudden wave of heat surged in my body. Could there be a problem with the alcohol I just drank? Sensing something was wrong, I turned my head and told my bro, "Take me to the hospital." Before I could get the words out, I saw Lee Shimin walk out. I stared straight at her thin lips. Then, uncontrollably, I lunged towards her. When I woke up, I was already lying in bed. Recalling the scenes from last night, I suddenly turned my head to look at the woman still sleeping beside me. She definitely took the opportunity to take advantage of me. Just as I wanted to grab a pillow and hit Lee Shimin's face, she woke up. I glared at her angrily. "What did you do to me last night?" Lee Shimin glanced at me. "You still have the nerve to ask. Not only did you throw up all over me, but I also accompanied you to the hospital, tossing and turning until past 3 a.m. before returning. I wrapped the blanket tightly. Then my clothes." Lee Shimin looked at my pectoral muscles exposed to the air, quickly shifted her gaze away. "Of course your bro helped you take them off." I suspiciously moved closer to her. "If you didn't take them off, then why are you blushing? Strange. How come I can't hear her inner voice anymore? Or was it my auditory hallucination before?" Lee Shimin raised her hand and pushed my head away. "Didn't I tell you to stay at home? Why did you run to the bar to drink?" I had to change the subject. "There was a problem with the alcohol I drank last night, right?" Lee Shimin nodded. Her face also turned solemn. Don't know what she was thinking. I didn't ask, because I knew she wouldn't tell me even if I asked. I took my clothes to the bathroom to change. By the time I finished changing and came out, I heard Lee Shimin say, "I want to eat dumplings." Dumplings again. "Why do you like eating dumplings so much?" Lee Shimin said. "In the past, my grandma would always make dumplings for me to eat. After she passed away, I've eaten dumplings made by many people, but only the dumplings you make taste the most like hers." I suddenly thought of my grandma. Since grandma passed away, I've had no relatives. Thinking of this, I went to make dumplings for her. When I finished making the dumplings and brought them up, I found there was an extra man in the room. It was Jiaho. He was sitting on the bed, looking at the unconsciously eyes red, calling affectionately, "Shimin, why are you crying?" "She's not dead yet. You just have too many tears." I walked over, placed the dumplings on the table. Jiaho looked at me with an unfriendly gaze, a look of looking down on me. "I'm back. You are not needed here anymore. He. If you really like Lee Shimin that much, why didn't you stay and take care of her back then? A hypocritical ex-boyfriend? Where does your sense of superiority come from? I didn't spoil him either. Whether you are needed or not is not up to you." Jiahao suddenly got annoyed. "Fang Yuan, you are just a nanny." "What are you pretending for?" I sneered. "None of your business. I am already married to Lee Shimin. The person who should leave is you." Jiaho glared at me. "Are you? Shameless?" I crossed my arms. "I don't want it. I'll give it to you." "Just right, you don't have any." Jiaho was so angry he wanted to hit me. The next second, his wrist was pulled by a small hand. Jiaho turned his head to look and shouted in surprise, "Shimin. Great, you're finally awake." I stared blankly at Lee. Is she not pretending to be a vegetative person anymore? Jiaho raised his hand and pointed at me, complaining grievously, "Shimin, this man bullied me. Wow. This man really knows how to distort the truth." It was clearly him who wanted to hit me. Lee Shimin withdrew her hand. From the corner of her eye, seeing a dark shadow at the door, "You don't need to be angry. He is just a nanny my mom found for me. He's not even fit to carry my shoes." I widened my eyes. "Lee Shimin, you're really something." To win back your childhood sweetheart, you even start to despise the marriage law, huh? The marriage certificate is still in the drawer. Jiaho raised his chin with a triumphant expression. Li Shimin looked at me and said mercilessly, "Didn't you hear what Jiaho said, get lost?" I clenched my fists. She's driving me away. I took care of her for a few months anyway. Even if her childhood friend came back, she doesn't have to turn against me so heartlessly, right? Forget it. There's nothing to be sad about. I originally married her just for the money. I drove away simply and neatly. My bro was afraid I'd be too sad over the breakup, so he moved in to live with me. At night, seeing me in a bad mood, he dragged me to the bar. This time I learned my lesson. No drinking, just order some girls. Call the prettiest girls in your shop. Over here, isn't Li Shimin just pretty and rich? I have money now. I just need to find a pretty one. Having money means you should splurge. Soon, 2 girls came in, good looks and figures. One of the girls walked over and sat beside me. I asked her, can you do yoga? The girl smiled shyly. I can. Then she performed a split for me to see. I was just about to help her up when I heard a bang. The door was kicked open. Coincidentally, when Li Shimin came in, my hands were helping the girl. Honestly, for a moment, I felt guilty. But on second thought, she was the one who drove me away. What do I have to feel guilty about? I still helped the girl up and commented seriously, "You are really beautiful." Li Shimin grabbed my ear and pressed me onto the sofa. Eyes meeting, I was still hopeless. My heartbeat sped up. She really is superior to that girl, whether in face or figure. Li Shimin said angrily, "Get out." Obviously, she wasn't telling me to get out. I turned my head to look. My bro and the 2 girls were gone. Never mind the girls. What's up with my bro? Running so fast, didn't even wait for me. Meeting Li Shimin's dark, angry eyes, I nervously pursed my lips. You, a married man? Is it appropriate to look for girls? These words actually reminded me I still haven't gone through the divorce procedures with her. Could she be here to talk about the breakup fee? Great. Quickly throw money at me, I retorted self-righteously. You can rekindle your old flame with your ex-boyfriend. Why can't I look for girls? Li Shimin stared at me. After a long while, she said, "Fang Yuan, I like you. So you are not allowed to like anyone else." I was stunned. If I understood correctly, she is confessing to me, right? But doesn't she like Jia? Ming. Li Shimin stuffed a credit card into my hand. Card. This card has no limit. The password is my birthday. You can spend as you please, but you can't look for girls anymore. Did you hear me? Pausing for a moment, she added, during this period, I have very important things to do. I will come find you when I'm done. After speaking, she left. I looked down at the card in my hand, dazed for a long time. After that night, I never saw Li Shimin again. Only saw news about her online. So what she meant by important things to do was being inseparable with Jaya, taking him to high-end restaurants to eat, attending banquets, appearing high-profile at various events, saying she likes me on one hand, while being intimate with her ex-boyfriend on the other. Truly I swiped her card crazily out of anger. Bought a lot of things. Even bought a car and gave it to my bro. My bro was thrilled. Asked me if Li Shimin has any other vegetative sisters. I can take the job anytime. I gave him an eye roll. While I was spending crazily here, Li Shimin must have received many consumption notifications there. But she had no reaction at all. To prevent myself from overthinking, I found a new job again. Today, I just got off work and prepared to go home. When I saw he walked quickly towards me, opened his mouth and cursed me. Fang Yuan. It must be because of you that Shimin is ignoring me. Fang Yuan, say something. Where did you hide Shimin? I felt Jia Hao's mental state was a bit abnormal. If you're sick, go get treated. Don't act crazy on the street. This sentence seemed to stimulate Jia. He suddenly screamed. Then forcefully pushed me into the middle of the road. Looking at the vehicle driving straight towards me, my mind went blank. In the nick of time, a force suddenly pushed me away. I fell to the ground. When I climbed up from the ground, I saw Li Shimin lying in a pool of blood. My pupils shrank drastically. Li Shimin, wake up. More than an hour later, I stood outside the operating room trembling constantly. The first to receive the news and rush back was Li Shimin's best friend. She happened to be nearby. She told me a lot of things happened in the Li family recently. The reason Li Shimin had a car accident 2 years ago was set up by her uncle. The purpose was to seize the Li group. Li Shimin already woke up a year ago. The reason for pretending to be a vegetative person was to avoid alerting the enemy, to collect her uncle's criminal evidence and then catch them all at once. Originally, she didn't plan to wake up so quickly and ruin the plan. But seeing Jiahao about to hit me that day, she couldn't pretend anymore. She doesn't like Jiahao. because after Jaha broke up with her, he found a new girlfriend. That woman treated him very badly and even abused him, causing him to suffer from depression. So he came back to find Lee Shimin and Jaehao are not real. She was protecting you. If her uncle knew she cared about you, he would definitely use you to threaten her. Lee Shimin's uncle not only plotted the car accident 2 years ago, when she became a vegetative person, he also always tried every means to kill her. To make her never wake up, embezzled a lot of public funds while managing the company. The evidence is conclusive. Now he has been taken away for investigation. I thoroughly understood. That day, Lee Shimin deliberately made me angry, so I would leave. When mother-in-law rushed to the hospital, Lee Shimin just came out of the emergency room. The doctor said the surgery was very successful, but whether the patient can wake up depends on fate. Hearing this bad news, mother-in-law almost fainted. That is to say, she is very likely to become a vegetative person again. My whole body shook. In the ward, I looked at Lee Shimin lying on the hospital bed. Tears couldn't stop falling. Wife, wake up. I know everything now. I'm not angry with you anymore. As long as you wake up, I will forgive you. Wake up quickly, okay? If you don't wake up, I will take your money and look for girls. To anger you to death, I lay on the hospital bed, crying so hard, out of breath. Actually, I liked her a long time ago. I just didn't want to admit it before. Suddenly, a familiar voice appeared in my ear. The way you cry is so ugly. I was stunned. Looking at the woman slowly opening her eyes, said excitedly, go call the doctor. After a round of examinations, the doctor said the patient is out of danger now. Mother-in-law knew Lee Shimin was awake, held my hand and said, you are really Lee Shimin's lucky star. Having you marry into our family was truly right. I felt a bit guilty. After all, Lee Shimin was to save me. That she ended up lying here. When only the two of us were left in the ward, Lee Shimin said to me in a weak voice, Jiaho and I are not what you saw? It was all fake. I nodded. Your friend told me everything. Your uncle is too despicable. Do you know it was very dangerous yesterday? What if you were unlucky? You would really die. Lee Shimin looked at me. After a while, she said at first, I was really annoyed by you. You were like a chatterbox. Sometimes I couldn't wait to gag your mouth. But later on, gradually, I got used to hearing you speak every day. Sometimes when you went out, I felt it was too quiet. Always felt something was missing. Fang Yuan, you like money. I will work hard to make money for you to spend. Just stay obediently by my side from now on. Okay. Before I could answer her, Jiaho's voice sounded at the door. Shimin, what are you saying? As soon as she saw Jiaho appear, Lee Shimin's face darkened. Jiaho rushed in front of me, glaring at me. It's all you. If it weren't for you, Shimin wouldn't be injured. Fang Yuan, you are a jinx. I haven't spoken yet. Lee Shimin pulled out the 4-needle, got out of the hospital bed, blocked in front of me. Jiaho, I dare you to try and hurt him. I looked at the back of her hand bleeding and was terrified. Are you crazy? Jiaho widened his eyes in disbelief. Shimin, how can you do this? To me, Lee Shimin pulled me behind her, said with a cold face, Jiaho, he is the person I want to protect. I won't allow anyone to hurt him. If you dare to do anything to him again, I won't let you off. Jiaho questioned with grievance. Do you not love me anymore? Shimin, we've known each other for so many years. How can you treat me like this? Jiaho was crying and sniveling, as if very heartbroken. But Lee Shimin remained unmoved. Jiaho, I stopped loving you a long time ago. It ended when we broke up 2 years ago. I didn't go chasing after you back then either. I got into the car accident on the way home, dating you. Was just acting for my uncle to see. Jiaho glared at me fiercely. No, Shimin, you love me. I don't have time to care. Jiaho, going crazy, hurried out to call the doctor in. When I returned to the ward, Lee Shimin had already kicked Jiaho out. More than a month later, Lee Shimin was discharged from the hospital. I also returned to the big villa. The butler asked me with a smile, Do you want me to teach you how to navigate again? I smiled embarrassedly. Lee Shimin held my hand. No need with me here. He doesn't need navigation. Lee Shimin took me upstairs. I found more game cards and gold bars in the room, all bought by Lee Shimin for me. After dinner, Lee Shimin pulled me out for a walk. Walking along, she said to me, I still owe you one thing. What? I just asked. Lee Shimin took out a ring from her body. Lee Shimin asked, Fang Yuan, are you willing to marry me? For proposing, shouldn't it be us men taking the initiative? I couldn't react for a moment. Seeing me lost in thought, Lee Shimin got a little depressed. Why hasn't he agreed yet? I've been kneeling for so long. Don't. I need face. Could he still be angry? I really deserve to die. Hubby, sorry. I seemed to be able to hear her inner voice again. Suddenly, I had the urge to tease her. What if I don't agree? Lee Shimin directly grabbed my hand. And put the ring on. Done. I haven't even agreed to marry you yet. You are playing dirty. Lee Shimin said seriously. We already got the certificate. This is just a formality. Then do you like me? On the surface, Lee Shimin said calmly. I already gave you a ring. Isn't it obvious enough? I like you to death. Hubby, cuddle, hilarious. I just love watching her pretend the future days won't be too boring. I hugged her and gave her a kiss. Hubby kissed me. Hubby loves me so much. Lee Shimin pretended to be serious and pushed me away, coughed lightly. Mind your image outside. I kissed her a few more times. I don't care. I just want to kiss you. Now Lee Shimin couldn't hold it back anymore. Hugged me tightly, smiled and said, Hubby, I love you. Half a month later, Lee Shimin and I held a grand and solemn wedding. Looking at Lee Shimin walking towards me, at this moment I finally understood. So the reason I didn't want to get married before was because I hadn't met my lover. Now I have met her and understood the meaning of marriage. I held Lee Shimin's hand. The two of us looked at each other and smiled.